So I've often shared on this channel that living in your car when you're very young, as an example in your 20s, would probably not be my recommendation, because you should build your career, you should build your foundation in life, your spiritual, your mental, and that usually requires that you get planted within a community. You build up some very stable routines, because that's what owning a house or renting an apartment does. It gives you stability in a community, and you develop yourself. And then as you get into your 30s and 40s, you have an established career, maybe some certifications or a degree. You have an established philosophy towards life, spiritually, mentally. You have the tools to be a very independent person as a nomad. I think once you get into your 70s and 80s, I think you want to start to look at how you get off the road, because then I think, because of physical limitations, age, etc., it doesn't make sense to be on the road. So kind of living on the road is best served for those, I would say, in their mid to late 30s, all the way up to those in the mid 60s. And that'd be the best time frame. From 35 to 65 is probably the best time to live on the road if you can maintain an income, maintain your career, maintain your health, and that's what you want to do. Now, the only thing I will say that has changed in the last 20 years is technology has changed the ability to be a nomad. As an example, I'm 41. So 20 years ago, I was 21. At 21, I was still serving an apprenticeship, going to school at night, just starting to look into, like getting settled in a church and changing my peer group and developing myself, right? Because your brain doesn't fully develop till 25. You don't know who you are till 35. And when I was 21, pagers and cell phones at a very small level, I'm not sure if it was Nextel or flip phones, they were very still nothing like a smartphone. So the difference between now versus 20 years ago, I didn't have the smartphone. Now, I'm not an old baby boomer, but I'm not the young next generation. I'm the middle-age group, Gen X or whatever. And so, but I didn't have what 20-year-olds have today. I didn't have the smartphone. The smartphone, the internet, technology companies, remote work has opened up new opportunities for those who want to live a remote nomadic lifestyle. So, to be fair, while I would still, on average, kind of say the middle-aged person who has an established career that can work remote, established principles in life, that can withstand the volatility of the road, they would do best on the road. But to be fair, I also think now with technology, with remote work, whether you're a traveling nurse, whether you work the gig economy, DoorDash, Uber, Lyft as a supplemental income, whether you're a project manager, whether you work in IT, whether you work in anything that you can do, okay, that you can kind of develop yourself on the road via the internet. And as long as you're tracking your progress, you are working with an established company, or you're establishing a career skill set and you're building on it, and you have certifications or consistent work experience to prove that you are making traction, then I would say, yeah, a 20-year-old or people in their 20s can do it. It's still harder, because again, you need a lot of support when you're in your 20s, because again, you're still developing, and you need the coworkers on the job. Like, I learned a lot of things on the job because of older people physically there showing me how to work certain software, showing me about certain infrastructure equipment, hands-on. And so, you can get that remote via Skype or Teams, and yeah, you could supplement some of that, because now technology, you don't have to be next to someone, but there's still something to said for being physically there. Same thing, with a church, even though now a lot of stuff's online, or even though, again, I'm not promoting religion per se, but developing yourself so that you have the confidence, you have the wherewithal to withstand the ups and downs of life. Because when you're on the road, you want to you want to have a good foundation, because you want to have a good routine, you want to know yourself pretty well. If not, you're just going to be basically a homeless person with a below average career, no career, with mental problems, drug problems, and just drifting. So you want to be focused. You want to be able to say that, look, working on myself. I'm proving that I'm making advances in my career and my health and my well-being, and I'm doing the best I can to persevere. Because living on the road, living as a nomad, for me, living below your means, all those things are tied together. Living as a minimalist, all those things mean simply that you are minimizing the inefficient, unnecessary things in your life, whether bills or physical objects, so that you can focus more on yourself, self-care, and that you can develop yourself at a higher level, enjoy life at a higher degree, okay, while still applying the disciplines of time management, of healthy routines, of tracking progress. Okay, not so you can day trade and lose your mental health and lose your money. I'm not saying you can't try those things, but I want us all, myself included, to remind ourselves, okay, that age plays a part in where we're at mentally, physically, emotionally. There's certain cycles of life. There's certain cycles that we all go through in our 20s, which is mainly development. In our 30s and 40s, we're middle-aged, so we're kind of like very much in tune with ourselves and society. And in our 60s, 70s, and 80s, we're kind of unwinding. So we have to be conscious of the cycles of life, which cycle we're in, and how we are applying that season of our life to allow our lifestyle of being a nomad, a minimalist, or whatever, to enhance the cycle. Again, all of us are unique. We have our own fingerprint. We have our own story. We have our own circumstance. I'm making a general video, but touching on some very important topics that when you're in your 20s, be very conscious, especially if you're going to live this life on the road as a nomad. Continue to develop your career, pick up some certifications. Continue to work on your healthy habits. Understanding food nutrition, understanding time management, understanding, association, being around positive people, understanding the value of personal experience so that older people can teach you stuff. Again, you can supplement it now through technology, which is different than even 20 years ago when I was 21. But you still have to be conscious of, very important to develop yourself in your 20s and then into your 30s. So that way, when you're at the end of your 30s into your 40s, you're developed and you're really very much an independent person. You're at the peak of your life, you're middle age. But if you avoid that season in your 20s, you're going to wake up 40 and very underdeveloped. Again, if you live as a minimalist, single, no pets, no kids, you don't need much to get by, but you're eventually going to need a new car. You may need to get off the road. You want to get ahead, because there's always comes emergencies, and not just for financial, but for individual development, to keep yourself maximum creative, maximum knowledgeable. That helps you build and share out of your abundance. Very hard to share out of your lack. And so if you have a desire to be creative, to be passionate, to be an entrepreneur, to be financially independent, it doesn't happen just by living simple. It happens by self-control, by discipline, by focusing on seasonality, and also being very aware of self-development and not getting trapped in living below your means so that you can live in poverty and just fuck off. Excuse my language. But, again, you're talking to someone who's 41 years old. Okay, so I understand for everyone who hears this at a certain age, it's going to be different. I also understand that everyone, again, has their own circumstance. But I want to share this video. I think it's very important that your age, your circumstance, you're very in tune with where you're at, so that you can very much be conscious to develop yourself, to serve yourself. This message is here to serve you, because really what I'm saying is all about helping yourself. That's it. No really magic secret behind it. Okay, so if you can remember to help yourself, stay away from addictions, stay aware of self-development, then you can be focused on growing or maintaining life in a healthy way. And that's what, we all need to focus on to get through life as best we can. So hopefully my videos help. If they do, click that thumbs up. If you want to support the channel, click that blue join button. 33 cents a day. You can cancel at any time. It's a great deal. You get unlimited access to all my live feeds. Check out my playlist, which has thousands of free videos. Thank you to all my members. Leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Keep pushing forward. Keep showing up. Keep managing your time. Keep doing all the things you want to do. And remember, your life is nothing more than a series of days. So how do you spend the time in your day? What is your recurring patterns? And that is a predictor of your future. So if you don't like your current way you spend your life, and if you don't like how your future's looking, then you have to make changes, and not necessarily grand changes, but small disciplines within your daily routine. Okay. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Peace.